Here we go, our second of 4 best of 5s. This is upper bracket semifinals. The winner of this will move on to play against Maru in the upper bracket final, but that is happening on the 27th of June in Paris. Today is the 12th of June. The loser of this series does have to play another best of 7 later today, and that's not a pleasant best of 7 since Clem is waiting in the lower bracket of the playoffs of the Maestros of the game. I figured that we should maybe wait a sec before we do the proper intro. So. But that's where we are. If you guys need any extra information, exclamation mark B or bracket, both works. And then you guys can see where we are at. But 4 series today. First one is done. Second one, hopefully, about to kick off. I would have gone insane playing Dota. I played a lot of Dota in my early days, Kennard. I don't want to brag, but I had a pretty mean Shadow Fiend. And my Mirana wasn't bad.
Game resumed.
But where my addiction really took over is when Heroes of Newerth came out, and I was playing so much Hun. And Madman is probably my all-time favorite MOBA hero. And I like to think that I was really good with Madman. On that meta, I'd go quick bottle, I would grab all the runes, I'd be everywhere. Like I was a great Madman. My Shadow Fiend was better hero protagonist. Alright guys, let's do it for real this time around.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the legend, Finnish phenom, the GOAT, our very own Jonas Satala, also known as BASILISK Serral. Aiming for, of course, what else than a science victory. Oh yes, that's right. We're rocking it. Of course we're rocking it. Top right side of the RotterdaM temple, we are looking at the main base of the man who got a 3-2 victory over Shin yesterday. It was a very weird series. It was a bit messy, but in the end he got it done. Like he gets it done so often. A lot of people look at this man as the most successful player in the year 2026, and it's hard to argue with his results. This is T1's herO. RotterdaM Temple is a map that's obviously not on any of the ladder map pools yet. It may make it eventually, we don't really know. It's a pretty bizarre map. There are rocks and there's another set of rocks that will eventually expire. herO has gone for an in-base pylon and an in-base gateway. I would never in a million years want to open up like this against a Zerg like Serral, but herO seems to be confident. herO's also gone no scout, by the way, so in-base pylon, in-base gate, in-base cyber core. No wall of yet, hasn't scouted. This is not something I think he would do against many other Zergs, but maybe he just feels that it's so unlikely. Serral does something crazy, cheeky, aggressive early on that he gets away with it. But I look at his opening already and be like, man, against Lorimbo, Fjont or Shin, we are so dead. We'd be so dead. Yesterday he played on this map and he most certainly scouted very early. It was like literally a pylon scout. I don't remember all the tiny details from yesterday, but I do remember that part because I know that on this map more often than not we see the Zerg players go for something a bit cheesy. Yeah, no, he gets away with it. This time around he gets away with it. But there are some other moments where you don't get away with it. This is a wall off. Pylon, gate, pylon. It's most certainly a wall off. Like this best of 5 is obviously always awesome. It's great to see herO and Serral play in a series that matters. Upper bracket live is very important because double elimination carries all the way to the offline finals. It's a really important series. But the fact that the loser of this best of 5 plays a best of 7 against Serral to determine to figure out who's going to make it to Paris makes this series even more important. This is because it doesn't matter who you are, even if you're herO, even if you're Serral, playing a best of 7 against Clem in the lower bracket, tournament live on the line is incredibly intimidating. If I said Serral before, obviously the loser of this series plays against Clem. I don't know what I said, but I thought that's what I said. Clem is waiting in the lower bracket to play a best of 7. herO, by the way, playing a pretty bizarre build here, guys. It is a double Stargate, and he's going for very early +1 air weapons. I don't think we're gonna mass Void, but he may make a couple of Void Rays, fly to the other side of the map, and then get a cancel on the 4th or something. I don't exactly know what herO is cooking. I mean, this is obviously something we have seen before, but I don't see it very often on this level. It is live patches. No PTR today, guys. Live version of Starcraft 2. Hello, Fox. We were talking about you earlier, mate. That is correct, Empty. That is correct. One of the 3 is going to be eliminated today. Oh, sometimes, by the way, this is not a solid wall off when you're like right on the edge with your adept, but works for now. But today will be the end for either herO, Serral, or Clem. One of those 3 cannot make it to Paris. And all 3 of them were there last year for the offline finals of Season 1 of Maestros of the game. So one of the big 3 is not going to make it. Serral has dropped a pretty early Spire here. Probably feels that something is not quite right. Got a couple of roaches on the way. Continues to shark around with the Zerglings. Just trying to catch a glimpse. I think he just saw it maybe with his link. I think one of the links got picked off by the Voids. Alright, the Queen's gathering. Yes, the Queens are gathering. What's better? A bunch of incredibly expensive Void Rays with +1 air weapons, or a couple of basic Mamacitas that we can make since minute 2. herO knows. This is not his first song and dance. He's been here before. Queens win on creep. Queens win off creep too, man. Queens even win inside of a Dropalord. Don't ask me how they would do it, but they would. Speaking of Dropalords, Overlord speed is on the way. 12 extra roaches. It seems like serO is gonna think of sending it. And earlier you guys were talking about mass voids. We're now even getting flux veins, guys. Fleet beacon is done. +2 air weapons on the way and flux veins. So we're gonna have a truly epic fight between Void Rays and Queens here in game 1. The Spire of serO got cancelled. So serO had a Spire on the way earlier and he has decided to cancel it. He did not feel this is bad, by the way, for serO. Losing Queens early is very, very bad news, and he's going to lose 2 of them, I believe. Now everything else got recalled. 3 Queens have already died. It's a perfect game after 7 minutes and 20 seconds. This is a perfect game for herO. He has killed 27 units. He has lost nothing. Now there's a mothership on the way, and serO has decided to not go for it anymore. After losing a couple of Queens early, does not feel like he can ever keep these Queens alive on the other side of the map. So serO is switching gears, and he's now dropping the Hydralisk then. Void Rays looking really good. Was not on my bingo card of day 2 of the World Cup, but here we are. Well, in that case, maybe America will win against Paraguay. Maybe Canada wins. Void Ray, maybe one Void Ray is gonna go down here, and it's not perfect, to be honest, by herO. I think herO could have done it a tiny bit better, but maybe herO was distracted because serO is also counter-attacking with some roaches on the other side of the map, and that's why I think herO was derping a tiny bit. herO continues to derp as now the roaches have made it all the way into the natural before the cannon and the battery are done. We should not have taken this much damage from a couple of roaches, to be fair. This game looked really good for herO like a minute ago, and now I like it a lot less. This is of course a great scout by serO too. Even if all these roaches go down, he sees the carriers, he knows about the mothership, but he cancelled the Spire. If serO wants to make an attack with Hydras and Queens, like that can theoretically work. If there is no Storm, no Disruptor, no Colossus, this can work, but you cannot attack with a tiny amount of Hydras. To be fair, serO's got 18. 18 is a pretty serious number. I don't like the idea of going for roaches with Thundering Claws because there's a cannon anyway. So I don't think that's really worth it. serO, I think 20 plus Hydras and the Queens and Creep, and serO's army can really cook here. But maybe a bunch of Force Fields could be good. Then again, there are Ravages in the mix. A truly bizarre first game between herO and serO. Upper bracket semifinals. What is it going to be? These finals are going to get picked off. herO's already supply block, activates cloaking. Couple of links come in from the bottom, but this is kind of the most important fight. Can the 4 carriers and the 6 void rays, 2 carriers are not here yet, by the way, so you don't have too many interceptors being deployed at once. But we do have +2 air weapons, guys. Carriers with +2 air weapons, void rays with +2 air weapons. I actually think herO is going to do this. It is going to be a bit hectic and scrappy and messy for a little while, but upgrades are incredibly important for flying units too. And these Hydras have no carapace upgrades. herO has lost 9 probes, that's a bit annoying, but he has cannons and batteries for days, and herO holds convincingly. Serral's got no bank. Well, herO has done herO things here in game 1, but with double Stargate, Void Ray, early air upgrades, he's looking really freaking good. This is one of these builds where I'd say don't try it at home, because when you do try it at home, you're going to get A-moved by 27 different things that you didn't even know you could lose against. But herO is making it work. It's actually, I think the fact that herO didn't rush Storm earlier is really good, because you don't have money for all these things. You kind of have to go for one or the other. And herO just believed in the power of the early air upgrades. +2 air weapons done, 11 minutes into a game against Hydras and Queens with no carapace. It is massive. And it's a lair tech Zerg as well. Serral's definitely in trouble, even if he's up in supply. Serral is in trouble here in game 1. Doesn't matter that he's got a base advantage, doesn't matter that he's economically a little bit ahead. Like, he is in trouble because herO's army is just really powerful for this phase in the game. Is this the herO that was once Liquid herO? No. Liquid herO is Liquid herO. This is the herO that used to go by CJ Entis herO. Did already play many years ago. Like, I think CJ Entis herO started playing Starcraft 2 in like 2012 or 2013, something like that. So he's been around forever. He's been gone for a bit. He came back. But this herO is not the same as Team Liquid's herO. I had a friend tell me, and I cannot verify this, but I had a friend tell me that Liquid herO apparently lives on Jeju, which is the little island underneath Korea, part of Korea, that I have gone to 3 times in the last year and a half. If I would have known that Liquid herO was living there and apparently working, I don't know, in some coffee shop or something, I would have came down looking for him. I would have loved to order a coffee from herO. That would make me so happy. But no, that's not this herO. That's a different herO. Serral has fired up the hive and is building 4 infestors, and we've got the shroud on the way too. Infestation pit is wiggling. From here on out, by the way, guys, I'm not answering like questions about is this PTR or not every 3 seconds, because then it becomes very unpleasant for everyone else to listen to. So, chat, help out the new viewers, new people that stop by. Obviously, not PTR. Serral with a crazy amount of Hydras, 31. By the way, Shroud might be amazing here, but the problem is that it's no longer... Oh, no cancel herO, maybe. No cancel on the side of herO. That is big. So he loses 400 minerals. The good news for herO is that he does have Storm. The bad news is that if this goes on for a little while longer, Serral is really going to be way more capable and qualified of dealing with this kind of an army than he was a long time ago. I actually think the moment that herO defended, guys, he should have maybe just kept on going with the mothership, with the carriers, with the void rays, and then reinforced with void rays, with flux veins, or even with some Phoenix, just because Phoenix is built quickly and they can lift units. I kind of think that he has maybe missed a tiny opportunity. Now, I don't want to make it seem like herO is now losing this game, because that's a bit extreme as well. Serral doesn't have a bank. Serral is low on drones. Is rebuilding the Spire that he once upon a time cancelled. But this is still a really sick army, don't get me wrong. We don't have a robo on herO's side. That's actually kind of annoying. So the only detection that he's going to get is going to come from these oracles. And this is still a really sick army, but we do have interceptors for days. We're gonna have Shroud. Can the High Templars get close enough to drop the storms that sweet herO dreams are made out of? We lose 1 High Templar, we lose a couple of High Templars, we lose a lot of them. The storms are massive though, and there was no Shroud. herO is now gonna turn around and fight, and then he sees the forest of Spore Crawlers, so he's gonna retreat once more, but Serral did lose a lot of his anti-air once more. You know, sometimes Ultras can be very good. I don't know if this is really that moment that Ultras are going to be that good. Perhaps with Kindness Plating and Shroud they're going to be okay. It's gonna take a while. We only have +1 carapace at the moment. Broodlords, I don't think we have to even talk about for a very long time. I don't know if any of that's gonna make it. It seems like herO might not even give Serral the time to get these ultras out. Very nice positioning on the Hydras on the left side. They actually killed 3 Archons there, but herO's army is here. There's still a Void Ray in the mix. There are still a couple of Archons. Everything is dying. The biggest problem I think for Serral is just going to be the severe lack of anti-air. Hydras take very little damage, but it's still a mothership and it's so many carriers. Your Shroud is good, but it can't be that good. herO should build Void Rays, by the way. At this point, herO should really build some Void Rays. It doesn't even matter. Even if herO doesn't have much of an answer for these ultras, Serral does not feel like he can clean up those carriers and the mothership. And it's a 1-0 lead for herO. Build order win. I don't think it's that simple. I feel like that would be taking away a little bit of herO's moment, and I don't think that's totally fair. I think that herO can obviously cook with this build, as he showcased here, but it really comes down to the moment where herO has a good start. Finds a queen, finds another queen, finds a third queen. Like, how can Serral ever attack into Void Rays if he loses 3 queens before the fight even starts, right? And that's not a build order win. That's just herO looking for opportunities and yeah, looking to get damage done, looking to get himself in a favorable spot and getting rewarded for his hard work. To just put that down to a build order win, I don't think it's fair to herO. As much as, obviously, this is a Basilisk channel and we are always rooting for Yona, we have to give herO the props and credits he deserves. What map we hitting next? It is a Sanctuary, matey. Sanctuary the Third. Also one of the newer maps recently being part of the TLMC map making contest. Didn't receive many votes, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw this, like top 20. But Sanctuary finished in 15th place or something. I was really shocked by that. Because in some of the weekly cups, this is one of the maps that we always see that the pros and semi-pros seem to be very fond of. It's a pretty map as well. I really love the loading screen. I think it's very pretty. I'm shocked to see that this map finished so low in the TLMC contest. Habibi saying democracy was a mistake. Well, I guess that's a conversation for a different day, mate. But when it comes to Sanctuary, I do think it deserved a little bit more love.
Round 2. Fight!
Bottom left side of Sanctuary, we're looking at the main base of the man who is going for the low ground pylon this time around and probably has a very different build up his sleeve for us. It is T1's herO. Why don't we have that thing here, by the way? We did have it before. I guess they forgot. And in the top right side, representing Basilisk, down 0-1, cancelled the Spire early, decided to go for it with Queens and Roaches, couldn't really continue, then went for it again with the Hydras, and obviously made life hard on herO, but could not break him. And eventually couldn't get it done against the Carriers, the High Templars, the Archons, and Big Mama. It is a Serral. Yeah, I would have definitely expected this map to be in the top 5 when it came to the recent TLMC map voting competition. Blackrock won it, the map that we saw in the previous series, which I'm okay with. I think Blackrock is a cool map, it's awesome. The 4-player map did incredibly well. Eternity's Edge, I think, finished in the top 5, but somehow this map got close to no love. I don't know what it did wrong, but it happened. Hello, Michelle. Happy Friday. What a Friday it is. Big day of a very big weekend, guys. It's not just today that we have some amazing 1v1 matches. Tomorrow we have 2v2 starting at 5 p.m. CEST. 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. A busy weekend with the World Cup. But the 2v2 finals of Utermal Circuit is going to be fantastic stuff to watch. I think you guys will have a ton of fun. Make sure to tune in to your Thermal stream or mine or StatFest or any of the player streams, because there's a good chance that this man will be streaming as well over the weekend. And you guys can watch his first person view. And obviously he's going to try to win the 2v2 competition. You're not locked in with a teammate this weekend, so everyone will play with everyone. I believe they announced actually who's playing with who. A lot of you guys were excited over Spirit and Solar being a team again, because we can also listen to the player comms. And apparently Solar was blasting Spirit a little. I like listening to Max in general. I think Max Pax is very fun to listen to, and he's very impressive. It's going to be a sick weekend. It's honestly going to be 3 of the most exciting days of Starcraft that we've had in a while. And after that, we can just chill and lean back and play video games. Max is Danish, that is correct. Clean. Very, very clean there by Yona. Just a couple of links, good enough to pin the Adept to the wall. Let the Queen get enough shots off. Obviously getting an Adept this early against herO is good. No need, Pete, it's a different tournament. Today, our focus is Maestro of the game. This is our second of 4 series. Tomorrow and Sunday, it is Uthermal's 2v2 circuit, main event, Group Stage 2. Last weekend was Group Stage 1. Both tournaments are big. This one has an offline finals. Uthermal's 2v2 circuit does not, but it's still going to be an amazing weekend of Starcraft. If you guys have any time tomorrow past 5 p.m. CEST, I really recommend tuning in. You will not be disappointed. Even if you prefer 1v1 over 2v2, you'll have a good time, I'm sure. herO here, second Adept is surrounded as well, but does have a lot of protection from these mineral patches. So that was a pretty clean position to put the Adept in. Oracle shows up. Serral still wants to finish the job. He's not gonna get it. Does a lot of damage to it. Alright. herO gets his first drone. 4 minutes and 20 seconds of hard work. And we get rewarded with 1 drone. Yeah, I think that is correct, Neat Pete. I believe that these games that we are currently watching, and obviously the games that we covered yesterday and the day before, they were supposed to happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But because they don't want to overlap with Uthermal's 2v2 circuit, because then the players have to choose, or some things may not be live anymore, it just becomes complicated and awkward. The folks from Comeback TV decided to move these series to the previous 2 days and today. To make sure that... And I'm sure that they also want to cast the 2v2 games. So this way it just worked out better. We obviously have plenty of empty weekends on the StarCraft 2 calendar, so let's try to space out at least the big tournaments a tiny bit. The Serral drone accounts double. I think that's a very fast statement, mate. herO has played quite a few games lately where he does not stop at 2 oracles or even 3 oracles, but he'll make oracle 4, 5, and sometimes even 6. That doesn't seem to be the game plan here. He is being very cautious. One thing I have not mentioned to you guys, by the way, at all is the server order. I did show you guys the lobby, so if you were locked in and you're paying attention, you probably have seen it, but I should take a look at it. This game is on West, so that actually makes herO's victory in Game 1 even bigger. It means that herO won Game 1 on Central. That's a big win. It's kind of like a mini break. Not quite a full break, but a little mini break. Infestation Pit and Hydralisk Den already going down for Serral, who's working with 74 drones. herO does have Quick Storm. Doesn't seem like Serral is going to be too aggressive early on, based on everything that I see. Since herO has been very cautious with his oracles, and this is actually out of the 2 servers the better one for him, gives me the feeling that herO is looking for a very sharp High Templar Blink Stalker attack. Otherwise, I think he would have been a bit more adventurous with the oracles. He'd be willing to lose one. We obviously know that herO is never afraid to just kind of send it and look for critical damage, unless he truly feels that he needs all of those units for his follow-up attack. 2 Adepts are going to shade into the 4th base of Serral. Quite a few drones here still, even after the drones have been evacuated. It's been the most successful harass attempt of the game. 5 drones. It is obviously a bit later, but it's still good. Well, you mean it's not about the damage you push out, it's about the damage you take, right? And I believe those still count as range. Even when there is a melee animation, there is still range. This is floppy on hero's side. But a lot of those things have changed. A lot of those little interactions have changed. I don't know for sure, Zitran, but I believe some things, even where it looks like for instance, some people ask about Guardian Shield, right? Let's say there's a sentry here and you cast a Guardian Shield. What if the Hydra stands inside of the bubble? Is the unit that's also in the bubble still protected by Guardian Shield? And to the best of my knowledge, the answer is yes. I don't think just because you're in the circle that means that, you know, the projectiles don't go through the Guardian Shield, but maybe I'm wrong. It's obviously like, it's all kind of niche and it doesn't come into play, but as far as I know, that the effect of Guardian Shield still comes into play, so it's still reduced damage. So herO losing that one Oracle was a little bit painful. That obviously shouldn't have happened. herO has Hive done. We have Lurker then on the way. He's going to come in from the bottom. If he can just get on top of a couple of these High Templars, life is so good for herO here, guys. Where game 2 is played on US West. The better of the two servers for herO, but this attack was not it. I would even say it was a bit of a disaster. Sure, the Storm in the end deals a lot of damage, but that is a fantastic engagement by Yona. Seemed like herO just kind of knew all along that this was going to happen, that this is where it would take place, and that was a very beautiful dive. 0 pure Gosu. The answer is 0, but obviously it's interesting to follow it. Excited to see where they close today. I have my eyes on it, but 0 on my side. What server rules? They just flip a coin, Juanito. So it's either west, central, west, central, west, or it's the other way around. Just coin flip. herO in serious trouble here in game 2 on a beautiful Sanctuary the Third, because his attack did not work out. He does not have a robotics facility, and dealing with a bunch of lurkers, especially several lurkers when you've got 0 immortals, is as unpleasant as anything could ever be in Starcraft 2. Including that barcode Protoss that's gonna cheese you, including the cannon rushes that says good luck, have fun, and while you're answering him, cannons go up in your main. All of that is unpleasant. We're playing against herO when you don't have a robo and he's got lurkers. Might be the worst thing of all of them. Oracle is going to die. 2 High Templars at the back of herO's army are going to try, and have the feeling that herO is kind of done with this game. This is a desperation Hail Mary counter to buy some time, but we're not really executing it in the way that we should be executing it. Don't do that, by the way, pure Ghost. You're allowed to talk about things, but you're not the financial advisor here, mate. Do not tell people to take action, because you can get me in trouble with that. So don't do that. No call to action. This is a very painful attack by herO. If we can even call it that. I don't know if I would call it an attack. I think I would call it a donation. A generous donation. The biggest one of the day so far. This one is all over, guys. And I think we are looking at a tied up series. And that means that it's time to bust out everyone's favorite sentence out there. The best of 5 has now turned into a best of 3. Pa-pa-pa-pam. And that's when you know you've made it into the big leagues of casting. You're now ready for GSL. As long as you can talk about the piggyback broadcast. Live from Seoul, South Korea, Mecca of esports, you're good to go. The best of 5 has turned into the best of 3. Well, herO is still battling. Activates cloaking on the mothership. And then still barely has any detection. We now have 1 Oracle flying around, dropping a revelation here and there, but obviously on a 3 basis and 130 supply, there really is like no way we're gonna turn this game into something. You're surprised he's still alive? What is he though? If we're going down casting memory line, is he though? I don't know if he is. The Lynx can actually finish the job as herO has decided to Rico his army back into the natural. We still have that one Oracle dropping the revelations like they are hot, but now that last Oracle is dead, so that means from here on out no more revelations. The only detection we have are a couple of these cannons. That's so many High Templars, by the way. herO is going to bring the High Templars awfully close to all these lurkers. The Lynx have finished the job over here at the bottom side of the map. I mean, this game is just 100% categorically done and dusted. When Hydras are dashing forward, sniping at Tempest, the final High Templars go down. Is that going to do it then? The answer is yes. That is going to do it. GG. herO 1, Serral 1. Game 3 will be played on US Central. Yeah, the move out just did not work out at all, right, for herO. It's getting surrounded. High Templars exposed. It almost felt easy for Serral to do the one thing that Zergs always look for and dream of, but it's so difficult, and that is to get on top of the High Templars. But he just he got it rather quickly. Roddy the fortune teller, how did he know? Protoss players often believe, as long as they've got a High Templar, an energy recharge, and a dream, they're like, I fully believe. But then you realize that there are 7 lurkers that you cannot see that killed your High Templar, and you're like, you know what? I no longer believe. Which event was that on the tanks? There's so many different events running right at the same time. I find it kind of hard to keep track of. Oh, in that one? I obviously understand that, that makes sense, because if you only do one event at a time, then half the players are going to be bored and half the players will leave or play in other stuff. So it makes sense that there are so many different tournaments running through each other at the WSOP. But also this makes it very hard for a casual to sit at home and follow it. It's herO, Serral, or Clem. One of these 3 is not making it. 2 out of the 3 will make it. 1 of the 3 is not making it. My favorite moment of the World Series of Poker so far was that video that Phil Helmut posted yesterday on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, but it's so funny. I can actually play it maybe after this Best of 5, where he's like, I'm posting this just so you guys know I'm good, okay? Like, I'm still good. It was funny. Like the things that I have to deal with. Like, I'm still a good player. I was like, you don't have to make this video, man. Alright.
Round 3. Fight.
Bottom left side of a White Rabbit. 2 map wins away from punching his ticket into the upper bracket final. And showing the live audience in Paris what he's made out of on the 27th of June, as that is when this tournament will continue. This is BASILISK Serral. Isn't it like 20 something? No? I thought it's way more than 10. I believe it's 20 plus. Top right side of White Rabbit, we are looking at the main base of T1's herO. Had a very cool build in game 1, and he played it, I would say, almost to perfection. I was a bit sad to see him lose that one void right the way he did when he was retreating them from the queens, but at that point he'd already done so many things right that it was his game to lose. Game 2, I would say almost uncharacteristically passive at first with the oracles, then donated an oracle a bit randomly, and the move out with the stalkers, and the High Templars just didn't work. From there on out, it was always going to be a really tough game. I have not seen that Cohen. Didn't even know that there was a video like that, but I am interested. I feel like it's been still kind of 50-50, even between herO and Clem. Definitely some moments where herO won a couple series in a row and Clem looked very unhappy, but on a different day, then Clem shows up and suddenly wins a best of 7, 4-0 or 4-1 convincingly. So It's no guarantee that herO is going to be one to drop to the lower bracket to play against Clem, but if that happens, for me that really is a 50-50. Like, we cannot disregard the amazing 2026 that this man has had so far. Winning the Thunderfire All-Star Invitational early on into the year, January, then winning a couple of big online events as well. Of course, finding success in the Korean leagues, RSL, GSL, you name it. All this man does is winning. And then on top of that, he also wins, on average, one of the 3 weeklies a week, sometimes 2 weeklies. A little Kung Fu Cup action on the Tuesday afternoon. I mean, herO has been amazing. We'll also play in the 2v2, right? herO has made it to the final stage of the 2v2 circuit. There's actually great content, guys, to watch herO play 2v2. Because when herO plays 2v2, he kind of lets his partner know. He's like, sorry, by the way, no mic at the moment. But it's like, okay. And I was on Discord. I was listening to Spirit. So I can still talk. Spirit does not hear me, but we can hear Spirit. And Spirit was playing together with herO. And they were having a good game. They were just kind of typing to each other. And they were getting ready to attack, but then when Spirit was here, herO was here, and he just blinks forward into 2 people. And you hear Spirit on Discord, he's like, herO, no, wait, why? And then Spirit is stimming, trying to catch up with herO. And then herO like somehow still makes it work, they win the game. The man truly marches to the beat of his own drum. And Lambo was sharing some stories as well, that he had a very similar experience. Did win when he was playing with herO, but herO just making some questionable blinks, even in 1v2. serO has 12 Zerglings, 28 drones, 12 Zerglings, and 3 queens. 2 extra queens on the way. Ooh, this could be nice for serO, guys. The Oracle is already halfway towards the bottom side of the map, so serO's Link show up at a picture-perfect moment. It couldn't be any better. Kills the Adept, kills the Probe. And that's a serious victory for serO. It's really fun. And on to as soon as this series is over, guys, or maybe they will take a break after game 3, we can take a look at the matchups that we'll see tomorrow. So including the matchups that serO will play tomorrow. I'm legit very, very excited for it. I think we're going to have a fantastic weekend. Obviously excited for today. But really excited to be just watching the 2v2s with you guys, listening to the gamers. And then on top of that, non-stop World Cup action on the side. Woo. And some racing. Woo. And some MMA. Woo. What a weekend. I have peaked. I feel like this is my finest week of the year after this never-ending downswing until December. I would agree with that, actually, Neo. serO, his queen positioning is incredibly good. And obviously it has a lot to do with the setup, right? Like, it's so important to have your Overlord in the right spot, to have your creep tumors spreading in a certain way. So serO will always give himself like that extra second to react to either Adepts or to Oracles. His battery, by the way, is quite exposed. herO, his follow-up is going to be Resonating Glaive Adept, and this is actually going to be quite fun. herO hasn't played this yet in this series. serO at the moment has a Roach Warren. You guys know how Lambo calls serO the Helmet Zerg, because serO always plays mega safe. But having a Roach Warren doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be fine. If you're just kind of droning and you're not building roaches, you don't want to build... I mean, at this point, I think serO should start building roaches, by the way. Like, we already have 65 drones. There's almost no reason to be even more greedy. We have full 3-base saturation. Very surprising to see herO his Oracles kill an assimilator, but sure. And that actually, guys, leads into serO firing up 12 drones. And this is bad news. Oh, there's a stasis trap. That's a good stasis trap. And the Oracle lives. I think serO has now seen it. But 13 Adepts with Resonating Glaives are already heading to the other side of the map. Oracle still have some energy. Roaches are not out yet. I think serO might be in trouble. First Oracle does go down immediately. herO's going to drop stasis trap. He's in serO his face. At this point, it's just Adepts against Queens. The roaches are trickling out one by one. We're going to cancel that shade. Stasis trap does not get activated yet. serO's obviously going to lose a lot of drones. The only question is how many? Or as they would say in RotterdaM, wij gaan winnen, alleen met hoeveel is de vraag? I don't know if serO's going to win, but we're about to find out. It's a lot of lost mining time. Is that stasis trap still there? Yes, the stasis trappies are still there. herO is transitioning into Blink Stalkers. Oh, this could be painful for herO. I don't know if herO's aware of it. It's kind of hard to spot them on creep. 4 roaches stuck, 2 more roaches stuck. Do we have extra drones? Oh yes, most certainly we have extra drones going down against these 3 adepts. herO's execution here is quite good. He is crazy, he's aggressive, he's reckless. But this is what herO does better than anyone else in the game. Serral sort of weathers the storm. But we have to ask ourselves the age-old cast the question. At what cost? We have stabilized on 4 bases, but we are economically behind and we have 21 roaches out, but we can't quite counterattack with 21 roaches because herO already has Blink finishing up. I see hell for the Zerg in the chat, and yes guys, a lot of Zergs would refer to this as absolute hell for the Zerg. To what or who, Raw Banana? You let me know and I'll let you know. Seems like herO is just gonna make that fleet beacon only for the early mothership, which is definitely catching on popularity, and it looks good. I think overall, the mothership is just too powerful these days to ignore. It can also really help in keeping your units safe. It forces the Zerg to always bring a bunch of overseers. And then they might lose the overseers. Yep, just kind of right-clicking on the hatchery here. Hatch is going to be low on HP, but the hatch will not fall. Serral's got very little creep spread. We're now using our 1 Stargate to build a carrier too. But we have no upgrades. So we're just casually building a carrier. Ah, herO, what are we doing, matey? I don't know what herO is up to suddenly. He's building 1 carrier at a time, but he has no air weapons. He's flying oracles over queens, and now the Stalkers. I think these Stalkers were looking to finish the job of these adepts. The Stalkers are going to get surrounded too. And where things looked so good for herO 2 minutes ago, I feel like it's starting to look a tiny bit questionable. This is where herO has the temporary short circuit, and he kind of forgets that he's herO. Up to the point where he's soon going to be in trouble, and then he's like, I'm herO, and he's going to play like a goat again. Apparently the wires have not quite been reconnected because, oh my god, and we have so many slow zealots too. What are we doing, matey? I mean, Serral suddenly is finding victories left, right and center, but herO is making a couple of very questionable choices as we have 10 plus slow zealots and a couple of blink stalkers battling the roaches and the hydras here. That 1 carrier has shown up. We are researching +1 air weapons now. This should be better, by the way, for herO. I think this is where the connection has been re-established and herO's herO again. Just the unexplainable minute that herO cannot go without in the best of 5. But you know, like, herO might just go back to being an absolute goat now for 2 minutes straight and making nothing but perfect plays and still winning this game, but he has made life a little bit hard on himself. The last 2 minutes were definitely not it. I wouldn't like to see him click those zealots back. herO's just right-clicking on the hatchery from downtown, and he does get it. And at the same time, herO gets this one as well, and he tries to recall these targets out. Does lose every single stalker. Getting 2 bases is obviously kind of goated, but he did lose a lot for it, guys. He's going to lose the mothership here. He's going to lose his 1 carrier. And he's down to 4D supply. This base is just done, man. There's no way that herO can save this base. He is going to try to save it with 4 zealots, 4 stalkers and a carrier. No, I'm afraid there's been a little too much self-harm. And even if Serral is only on like 2 actual mining bases at this point, could maybe go for a 3rd. And he is going to go for a 3rd here. So it's 3 base against 3 base. But Serral has a 50 army supply lead. herO does jump on a small portion of this army, and that could go okay, but we've got a Viper in the mix that can land and abduct, and after 11 minutes it's still Serral. Despite the fact that Serral was in all sorts of trouble, it is still Serral who gets the W. herO looked so good for so long, and then in 90 seconds it just all came tumbling down. It's just very impressive, obviously, by Serral. Good army movement, good defense, good job against the oracles. But herO making some questionable choices there, like basically past minute 8. Thank you, Darlino, for the half a century, matey. 50 months is a long time. Thank you, Pastrutsky. I know that gives me $1. We'll take it. And thank you to the Robo Hobo Bobo, one of my favorite usernames other than Jar Jar Blinks. 2 long-time subs with great names. Thank you, mate. 98 months. Almost there. We have a future Hall of Famer. At this point, I think we're gonna make it, right? No, CHZ. I'm in the Netherlands, matey. I don't think I will be attending any World Cup games or I will be playing any World Series of Poker. I do have hopes and dreams, and I'm going to go to America at least once this year, if not twice. Maybe September for BlizzCon, and if that doesn't work out, I think there's a good chance that I'll make it to the US later this year for something else that I cannot talk about yet. But this summer, probably just stay at home. Alrighty. herO. Game 4. Missing you today. The winner will move on to the upper bracket finals of the Maestros of the game. And that is where where Maru is already comfortably waiting. That game, however, will be played on the 27th of June offline in Paris. Of course, you would much rather travel to Paris knowing that you're going to play the upper bracket finals than starting in the lower bracket and potentially being out after one series. But it's not tournament live on the line yet for either player. Game 4.
Round 4. Fight.
Top left side of Missing You today. We are looking at the main base of BASILISK Serral, aiming for his science victory. We're rocking. And no, guys, it's not always the same shirt. You guys think I always wear the same shirt. It's just a great shirt. What can I say? If it's a great shirt, it's a great shirt, and I'm rocking it. And it makes my boss happy. That also helps, right? Bottom right side of Missing You today. We are looking at the main base of T1's herO. Fantastic first game. Second game just didn't really work out. Third game off to a fantastic start. Was flying. And then kind of felt that somebody just clipped his wings. And we were no longer flying. Advertising something that ain't available, mamma mia. I know, guys. Wouldn't it be great if you guys can also get your hands on a nice Basilisk shirt? Yes, it would be. Is it happening then, Roddy? Soon TM, that's what you've said for years. Yeah, I know. A little more soon TM, but you never know. What if soon TM actually turns into a real soon TM? You know, it's possible. You come to America, come to New York. New York is a tiny bit unlikely, Holy Squid, but it's not impossible actually, but we'll see. Now, I hope that I'll make it to BlizzCon. Obviously, would love to be there. I mean, there is Starcraft. I have casted like 7 BlizzCons, and even if this BlizzCon is a bit different than the other BlizzCons, I would still love to be there. So obviously, it's just a great event. Like the Anaheim Convention Center is cool, BlizzCon is cool, meeting all the Starcraft nerds. What's also very nice about those events is that you'll meet a lot of people who will go to a BlizzCon, but they don't have the time anymore to watch Twitch. So many of them have probably not seen me in years. But you already know that you're going to have a lot of very nice interactions. So you will buy that sweaty shirt of me for a premium. What if I give you a opportunity in the future to maybe get a non-sweaty version? Doesn't that sound better? And don't tell me you want my sweaty version, because that's where it becomes very weird, man. Soon TM, guys. Soon TM. It's a beautiful shirt. I love it. Your Sill's heart hurts. Well, then I guess we should heal it, eh? Zero Wolfheart. I don't know, mate. I'm gonna assume that you'll look so good wearing it that they won't do that to you. I don't know why they do that to me, but I hope they don't do that to you. Alright. Game 4. Match point for Serral. herO needs to win 2 in a row to advance into the upper bracket finals of the Maestros of the game. Obviously, big shout out to the folks over at Comeback to TV who have done an amazing job in running the online portion of this event. And I am certain that the 27th of June is going to be a magical offline day of StarCraft. We have seen quite a few Zergs. make attempts in getting gold bases early here. Sometimes center, sometimes like top right, randomly sort of hidden. Pretty high success rate actually. I would go as far as saying I've never seen the hidden gold lose. I've only seen it twice, but 2 for 2. I think there are many other Zerg fans out there that have no idea how herO won game 3. I think herO at one point obviously started making all the correct calls. I do think it goes 2 ways. herO really needed a little bit of help there from herO. And herO most certainly gave him a bit of help. I mean, at that point we were already in some trouble, SM Orange Udon. I think obviously that was still expensive. I think we could have gotten that with less. But at that point I think herO was already in some trouble. Wonder how many games herO has played on this map. It has been quite popular in some of the Korean leagues, and herO should have like a few more games of experience on this one than herO. But herO is a true fan of the game, and that's probably why he's so freaking good. He watches a decent amount, as long as there is a Zerg. herO's been quite vocal in the past about not being too interested in TVTs, PvPs, and PvTs. But anything that includes a Zerg, herO likes to watch. So I'm sure he's seen a couple of his fellow Zergy colleagues, friends, battle on this map. He's a Lambo fan. He's a big Mixu fan. Who isn't? For the first time, herO is going Zealot Charge with +1. He has not done that yet in this series. We've seen some Blink, we've seen Double Stargate, we've seen Resonating Glaive at depth. For the first time, herO is going to go Zealot Charge. herO has only a Baneling Nest now. Now, Banelings can be very good against Zealot openings, but they can also be very bad. If you don't get the connections you're looking for, or you just simply don't have enough Banelings, you can be in serious trouble. It's a lot of extra gates being warped in on the side of our Korean Protoss. Triple Oracle, plenty of energy. Could maybe go for the Spore here, because you still get the cancel and then maybe the kill, so it's something. But seems like herO wants more. Could maybe make a tiny dive here. Activate Pulsar Beam, Spore and Queen. It's hard to micro against. It's not impossible. herO doesn't do that either. Drops the Revelation. I guess he just wants to... herO cancels all the... Ooh, that's maybe good news for herO. But herO hasn't really made any Zealots yet. herO was morphing a bunch of links defensively, but he cancels them after herO dropped the Revelation on it. Charge is done. Zealot just... or herO just saw that with the Zergling. And now obviously with the Overseer too. But herO doesn't have to necessarily make a lot of Zealots and go for it. Doesn't really seem like he's playing it out that way. herO may just stay on Hydra Link Bane for a while. It's a good scout on the Robo Bay. But first Colossus has not been built yet, and it's going to take a long time before Extended Thermal Lens is done. herO could of course just chill at home, drop the Infestation Pit, try to go for Lurkers. Lurkers are very good against Gateway Colossus. What herO can also do is pedal to the metal. Send it, never look back. Maybe some drop alert action into the main base. Lings, Hydras, Banes, a bit of everything. And since herO hasn't dropped the Infestation Pit yet, kind of seems like that is the route that our great Jonas Atala is going to take. Perhaps he can create a bit of a creep autobahn as well. Overlord speed is almost done. Both players being very cautious. herO putting his War Prism in the NTF2 mode. The fact that herO still has all 3 Oracles can obviously help out defensively in a tremendous way. Stasis Trap 4 days. Maybe a little Revelation here or there. Or eventually, if some of the Hydras have gone down or the Hydras are forced to stay at bay. You can activate Pulsar Beam and can be very good against Links and Banes. Please do not do something silly with your oracles here, herO. That's so important, guys. herO is still a Lair Tech Zerg. No Infestation Pit. He's maxed out. We've got a decent amount of Banelings. The 33 is a very good number. It's a very fast number. These oracles are fast too. They're low. They're still alive with the low. I like the extra oracles. By the way, herO supply is climbing. Has a second Colossus. Turbulence is done. It's not impossible for herO to hold this. Even if he's down a bit in supply, it's truly not impossible. Actually, the Zealot's jumping on the Banelings, so now it's only 2 Banelings in this drop lord rather than 4. herO is so confident that he's even sort of counterattacking with a couple of basic adepts, no Resonating Glaive. 3rd Colossus. I mean, is there anything better against Hydroling Bane than a bunch of Colossus and a bunch of Archons? If herO doesn't mess this up, oh, I do not like that one. Morph into the Archon. He makes it. I don't think it's going to work for herO, even if he has a lot of supply. The Bane Train. That is a one hell of a Bane Train. herO's not really moving his Colossus. Why didn't he move them? I think herO could have microed this a little bit better, guys. The Bane Train just splashed over every single Archon, every single Colossus. Well, you would have thought that he could have maybe split those units a tiny bit. Could have had the oracles are now flying headfirst into the remaining Hydra. So herO loses 3 oracles in the blink of an eye. A couple of questionable moments there. And I would say at this point he's not 100% dead, but he's obviously in serious trouble. I think that could have been a more successful defense than what it turned out to be in the end. What is he doing? It's obviously hard, and there is ping that comes into play. Game 4, I mean, it is played on US West. Out of the 2 servers, it is the slightly better one for herO. Maybe a little bit of panic. We do have Zealots on the left side. They should get a cancel. If not a kill, it is going to be just a cancel. herO is ready for round 2. And if round 1 is anything to go by, this could very well be the final round. And that means that a lot of folks over at Comeback TV have an amazing upper bracket final to look forward to at the offline event. Because if herO gets the job done here, it's a confirmed herO versus Maru upper bracket final. And Colossus are goated and all, but they do need a bit of a buffer. Did we cancel the Nexus? We did, actually. We only lost one, so we did. I'm really surprised how that first fight went. And then losing the 3 oracles afterwards the way that he did. It was a beautiful train. The Bane Train was very beautiful and it was satisfying. We can definitely put some nice background music to it and enjoy that one more time. But it's still like herO can do that a bit better. Not just classic, but okay. It is what it is. The game continues, but now herO is no longer dead. Just Lair Tech Zerg that needs to get something done. At this point, herO has very comfortably made it up to high. Here comes the base. It's not a maxed out herO, by the way, guys. herO has a lot of supply in production. Now herO is microing his Colossus very well, by the way, but I kind of wish we would have done that the first time around. herO finds an opening with a bunch of Zerglings, has a Reynor glance on the way, and he recently forgot in a very long game. herO's army is not going to be good against Vipers and Ultras. I don't think that herO can ever counterattack, step on creep and be fine. So I'm afraid that herO is in all sorts of trouble. There's no other way to put it. We did have batteries and cannons here earlier, but they got blown up. So can't really fault him for that. Did that prism finally die? Yes, the prism is dead. Prism is dead. Maybe the Vipers helped out. How many? We have 1 robo, right? Yeah. So you're not gonna get enough Immortals out in time. And Colossus Archon does not cut it against Ultras. If Ultras have Kindness Plating and good Carapace upgrades, Archon Colossus doesn't really cut it. You really desperately need some Immortals there. Sometimes a very high Stalker count, like a big old warp in of Stalkers, can actually get it done. But 7 gateways is also not going to give you that critical mass of Stalkers. I am afraid for herO that this is going to be it. We've got 6 Dropper Lords morphing too. Where the hell were those morphing? They're coming all the way from home. Serral setting up another potential beautiful engagement. There are no High Templars, I believe, on the battlefield to lend the feedback. So it's happy hunting season for these Vipers. They can just abduct a Colossus at a time. You can also go for an Archon. It's basically always good. herO's thinking of going up to a 5th base. He does have 97 armies flying +3, so it's not like he's got nothing. I would really like, by the way, just like one High Templar like this. Give it energy recharge and pray you can land a feedback or two. Pray you can land a feedback or two, but it's already a little bit too late. The Vipers are here, abduct, blinding cloud, and now the Ultras are just looking to get on top of this Protoss army. There are 2 Immortals in the mix, and these Immortals, they do hit hard. They hit like they mean something. Serral gets a cancel, gets a couple of big units, and it's going to temporarily retreat until the next wave of units is here. And +2 carapace may finish up. Not the absolute worst fight ever for herO, but given the circumstances of this game, it's not really good enough. We have no Observer. We lost all 3 Oracles earlier here, right? That tiny misclick over the Hydras. Tiny misclick, but very big implications. Now we recall 2 Colossus, 2 Archons, 2 Immortals. Does mean that the army on the right may be exposed. I mean, herO is hanging in there. He's playing pretty freaking good right now in the last 2 minutes. I'm afraid it's a bit too late. One very low HP Ultra is gonna die rather quickly, but the other ones are stronger than they are before, because now they do have carapace too. There is no Viper support, but we are just looking to get cancels on this 4th base, and that wasn't even just a cancel, guys. That was a kill. Second Nexus of the game has now gone down. Vipers are here, we can abduct, yeah. Archons are not cheap, so if you can't find the Immortal, if you can't find the Colossus, you may as well get an Archon for free. Here Ghost says herO still has a chance. I mean, this is a powerful army. The big problem is that we have no War Prism either, so we have no immediate reinforcements. We do have an Observer. I think herO's chance is kind of right here. It's like now or never, and I think he needs to hope that Serral messes up a little bit. The Immortal count is a lot higher than it was before. It got 7 Immortals now, so with 7 Immortals you can dream. I personally think that Serral's army, and especially the reinforcements, are going to be too much. Nice feedback on at least one of the Infestors, but we're going to have some Fungals, which is going to make it more difficult for this Protoss army to kite. We still have Vipers in the mix, and well, Serral is going to retreat for now. But he's maxed out. Waiting for those 5 extra Ultras, waiting for Infestors, waiting for those 40 Zerglings with a Reynor. Little Fungal does land. Serral definitely struggling in cleaning up this final army. 4 base herO. I mean, herO making some progress. I don't think it's enough, but 6 Immortals and a Dream? Please don't lose your War Prism here, that would just be so silly. He won't lose the War Prism. Serral is going to get on top of the original 4th base, and he will take that out. We do have a 5th base attempt that can now become our 4th. Serral still has some money. He is taking bases in the bottom left side. This map is just so... It's almost like old school Wings of Liberty vibes with like how incredibly open it is. And I know Wings of Liberty had some of the shortest maps ever and the tightest maps ever, but we also had like the Kulas Ravine and the other ones were Maelstrom, no, not whatever it was called, Whirlwind. These big wide open green maps. And these bases are so far apart from each other. If I have any of the moderators here, can you guys please press snooze on the ads? That would be great. That's why we haven't used any snoozes yet. This is definitely a moment to use it. Thank you to whoever did. Snooze. You snooze, you lose. This was a good moment to snooze. I was thinking Tal'Darim altar. Yeah, Tal'Darim altar. Yeah, I think that may actually be the one that I was thinking of. Because you had Tal'Darim and Kulas Ravine. But I think Tal'Darim was green, wide open in the center. I just remember like when Zergs were spreading creep back then, it was always like so sad. It was just like one little line of creep. It wasn't like in this day and age where the entire map is covered in creep. I don't know if herO can do this, but herO feels like he needs to do something about this economy of herO, so he's gonna go for it. But we've got Shroud being casted. These Ultras look strong. 4 Immortals on the left to have a tough time with those 2 Ultras. And I think this Zerg army is simply a little bit too powerful, too well upgraded. Good spellcasting on the side of Serral. Infestors stay safe. 4 Observers. They won't make much of a difference here. We go from no ups to all the ups. And that is going to do it, guys. And obviously, the writing was on the wall for a little while. Basically, after the first attack, GG gets called. BASILISK Serral will advance into the upper bracket finals of the Maestros of the Game Season 2. And that final will be played on the 27th of June. So Serral is done for today. But we'll see more of Serral tomorrow in the 2v2 circuit. But for Maestros of the Game, for 1v1 competitive Starcraft, Serral is done, but we'll see him in Paris on the 27th, where Serral will play versus Maru first, and then either versus who makes it out of the lower bracket, or he will be playing in the lower bracket final.